leadership organization issues that we talked about in class, we actually discussed a lot of things that leaders are going to be encountered to depending on what the companies are doing. Now, leaders should be able to communicate with their employees. A lot of companies nowadays are actually going through uh, many changes, and many diverse population is growing in the United States. So all the jobs here are actually having to deal with different people, different cultures. So now leaders have to be more compassionate. Also, they also have to be aware of everybody else's customs, because we have, like I said, being diverse, a diverse nation now. It's making more things more complicated. Now, many companies also are sending employees out into other countries, so they are going to have to be properly trained to adapt to other customs and know the language, know their eating habits, everything that they actually do in that country, because you never know how or when you can offend somebody in another country. It pertains also to the United States here, because we now have many diverse people, employees working here, so we actually have to watch out for that too. Another thing is many leaders have to uh, get properly trained or train their employees, because if they don't properly train their employees, then it falls under them. They also have to send them to many uh, diverse trainings. They also have to train them in whatever many of the rules that apply here that have been changing throughout the time. Also, we do have to be aware of all the regulations and changes that occur in all the organizations. Another thing I talked in the paper, or what I read about, and I was actually trying to explain, is that a lot of leaders they make decisions. They don't make their own decisions, and they don't really follow through on what is going on with the employee. They just take one answer instead of two answers, because there are always two sides to each story, right? So basically, they don't even bother to do that. They just go with one answer, and the other employee basically gets fired. And that's what one thing I actually explained in the research. Another thing is that they actually favoritize, and politically they actually too much politics sometimes in the workplace. So they have to properly trained for that, because there's many rules also today that actually is against the law doing that. Now, another thing is that we do need to control what we say in the workplace, and be careful not to be offending anybody else, because as managers should be acting in a professional way. That's, takes a lot of discipline and training. So leaders should be aware of all this, because people are looking at you as a leader. You should be setting an example on you how you react, how you act, how you answer the questions, how you ask questions, and you have to be careful as to how you actually talk to anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. And I also mentioned that a lot of employees, a lot of leaders don't take into consideration the whole team. That means the custodians, people that clean the organizations there, from to sales to top leaders, right? Everybody in the company is important. It doesn't matter who it is or where they started. And that's basically a wrap-up sheet right now about what I do care about as a leader. And as a leader, you should be more compassionate and more understanding for the future.